Alright guys, Uber Dan here with another driver story. Alright, so another question I get a lot from my passengers is, has anybody ever passed out in your car or thrown up in your car? Well, yes, both. However, I'm no dummy, and so what I do on nights when I drive when I know I'm going to be going to place, driving late at night, even if you're not going to bars, you should do this. Take this advice from me. Keep a bucket in your back seat. Just go to the dollar store, get a little, trash can, whatever, and use that. And then you don't have to clean it out. It's $1. You can just throw it away if somebody needs to throw up in it. So anyways, that's probably going to happen at some point. However, if they get even one drop of it in your car, anywhere, if they do any damage to your car, or you have to go get your car cleaned because of a passenger, Uber charges them a minimum of $300 to get your car detailed. Now, if they did damage, they pay for the damage and the time that, they caused you if you lost money because of it from driving. They have to compensate you for that. So Uber takes care of all that. So you actually come out ahead, and that's a great thing about Uber. But anyways, one time I had somebody, a couple of teenagers, they, were college students. It was a college town, and they had been drinking a lot. Apparently one of them drank a whole bottle of vodka, and he wasn't looking too good, so he saw the garbage can sitting there, and he just grabbed it. He's in the back seat, just hugging this thing and burying his face in the top of it the whole ride. I had the windows down because it kind of smelled bad. But anyways, if it's like $1 for the can, you can just throw it away, and just go illegally throw it away in a dumpster. Okay, you don't have to put it in your garbage. I'm not telling you to do something illegal, but that's what I would do. Wink, wink. So anyways, so throwing up in the vehicle, it happens. It's only happened to me one time. I've been doing this since 2015. Only happened to me one time. And it was just a college student that probably had never drank before or drank very little before, that just couldn't hold his liquor. So it happens, but Uber compensates you. Then, let's see, what was the other thing I was going to tell you about? People passing out in the car. Yeah, that happens actually every weekend. So I'm exaggerating, but it does happen frequently. But I've never had a really bad experience with, people. I would rather them call an Uber, and if they can get into my vehicle, I have no problem driving them where they need to go. If they're incapable of getting in the vehicle, then, if they have to have somebody carry them to the vehicle, I don't want them in my car, because then, they're not going to remember anything, and I just don't feel comfortable with that. But, if they're capable of getting themselves to the car, and they get in the car, and then they either lay down in the back seat, or they lay back and just fall asleep, that's fine. I've never had a problem with somebody not being able to get out of the car, except for one particular time, but they had other people in the car with them. So, so I'm just I get to the destination, I'm like, hey, we're here. And they're like, oh, yeah, thanks for the ride, appreciate it, man, appreciate it. And they get out, and they're all happy. And so anyways, there was one time, there was a girl, she was with her boyfriend, and a couple other people as well. It was a full car of people. And the girl, she was the whole time we were driving, she was trying to talk, but she'd be halfway through a sentence slurring and then just not be able to finish, the sentence. And eventually she just fell asleep. And so she's sleeping there. We get to the destination, and the guy's, the boyfriend, he actually has to pick her up and carry her out of the car and lay her down in the grass in the front yard. So that's happened before. So, anyways, if you're an Uber driver, you're going to deal with stuff like that, but it's not a dangerous situation at all. I've never had, an angry drunk. So, anyways. There was this one time in Roanoke, I picked these guys up from a club, and so one guy, they were 40, 50 years old, going to clubs and stuff. I don't know. They weren't one guy tried to convince me he was rich, but he obviously wasn't. But that was the alcohol talking. I'm driving him home, and he rolls down the window. There's cops all over downtown Roanoke by all the bars and clubs and stuff on the weekend, on Saturday nights. So he rolls down the window, and he starts yelling at cops. He's like, F you, pigs, but he's saying the word, And I'm just oh my gosh, this guy's getting a 1 star. I never want to give him a ride again. So, anyways, when you get, okay, so as a driver, when I get somebody that I would never want to drive again, I give them 1 star. If it's somebody that I just, I would want to give a ride to again because the benefit of getting paid is more than the negativity I dealt with, I give them a 5 anyway. I know it's probably not how most drivers do it, but the bottom line is I don't want somebody deactivated just because they're a little bit rude. I would rather, just have them deactivated if there's somebody that it's not worth the money. If they're rude to me, if they're really rude, yeah, 1 star. But if they're just like, a little bit rude or like, hey, I would have preferred if you went the other way. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, I would have preferred you told me you wanted to go a longer way before you started whining about it. But, I'll give them a 5 star, The reason being because, yeah, I'm not a little baby and I'm not a little child. I have big boy pants on and I can take a little bit of rudeness occasionally because, I would rather have the money and have a person occasionally treat me a little rude. But if they're really rude and I would never want to give them a ride again, done. So anyways, lots of stories. I have a lot more stories I could tell you. But, yeah, that's for another video. This one's already long enough. So, as always, shalom. Uber Dan here with 3 quick tips. First, get your first Uber ride free by downloading the Uber app and entering this promo code for $15 off. 2, receive a $100 bonus for completing your first 30 rides when you register as an Uber driver through the link below. After that, just download the Uber driver app and get rolling. And C, I really genuinely want to help you out with this Uber stuff, so please subscribe, share, and leave me some feedback. Seriously, ask questions and tell me what you really want to see. As always, thank you, and shalom.